My name's GISElE GAMBI and I'm a business coach, and I work with evolutionary leaders who are here to elevate how we do business and life. I met Mark in 2004, and it was when I started coaching, when I started my coaching business, and I pitched to his then business, and he really gave me my first opportunity. So we've had a long relationship since then, and I would say that I call him, a dear friend and also a mentor. Mark is a really extraordinary human being. The first word that I would use to describe him, the first way that I would describe him, is that he is enormously loving. Really, really loving, like genuinely loving. And when he looks at you, you absolutely know that you are loved. Beyond that, he, I think he's a provocateur actually. It's not a word that I had planned on saying, but he's a provocateur. He will hold space for you to be the biggest version of yourself, but he won't do it in a way where he gives everything away to you. He will create some loving disturbance and he'll give you little pieces of the puzzle, but he won't give you everything. And the reason why he does that is because he wants to empower you. He wants you to be empowered. How else would I describe him beyond that? He's a man of integrity. And the reason why I say that is because, he has experienced life. It's ups, it's downs, in business, outside of business. And he's come through the other side. And so I know that he holds space for people who are in the same boat. And because he's been there himself, he's not just learnt this from a book or gone to university, and it's not just knowledge. Like, he knows the space that he holds. He knows it. And for me, that's integrity. He has an ability to see vision beyond what one might conventionally see. And he can see that level of vision because he's internally free. And because he's truly lived life, all of it, he can see beyond, the illusions of how we think we need to do business and life. And because he can see beyond those illusions, he has this, his vision is clear, right, and free. And his genius is in loving someone to be able to do that for themselves. Mark has always seen me, right from the very beginning, when I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I learnt my presentation to pitch, a 6-month program to his business. And, there was an innocence in me, and there was an enthusiasm in me. And there was also, of course, there was also self-doubt in me. And, he saw beyond that, and he held me. He really held me. And I could almost say he held me into existence to the point that, I could actually see who I was. I could actually see my power. He held me to that point. So it's a pretty significant contribution to my life. So that was in the beginning. And since then, we just have really extraordinary conversations that I think impact us both. And, you know, we might be meeting over coffee and having it, you know, it might be just to be a coffee conversation, but I think there's an expansion that occurs each time. I know certainly for me. So that's how he's impacted me. And finally, I feel that, you know, his way of life, you know, he lives on the farm. He has a very free way of life. He does what he loves. He travels. You know, his wife, his children, you know, live really good life. And that freedom is inspiring. So Mark has supported me over the years, initially in this strange relationship of where I was working in their business, coaching their business, and yet he was mentoring me at the same time. So even in that, that was an unusual relationship, you know, one that's kind of beyond how we do business. And, you know, then, you know, years later, Mark has supported me in the way of being, you know, I love this expression, he's a hero partner of mine. You know, I feel like we're hero partners. We're on this journey together. And each time we come together over coffee, there's an expansion that occurs. It's certainly for me. And so I know that we're in each other's lives for that reason. And we both get really excited when we share each other's, you know, share our stories with each other and how free we are and how that freedom has projected into our external reality. And I know that, you know, from him initially being a mentor to me and him witnessing me, you know, where I am right now, I know it gives him huge amounts of joy. Like, you know, there's regularly tears in his eyes, and equally for me, there are tears in my eyes as well, you know, when I hear about his life. So that's how he was. It's an interesting word, and probably not the word that I would use that would most reflect our relationship, like being supportive. As I said, we're more of like a hero partnership, and actually that's the point really. I feel that with his clients, it becomes that. It becomes more of a partnership than really this kind of, you know, I know more than you and you need me. He works beyond that. Because of the level of genius that he is, because of the level of love that he is and gives, and therefore commitment to a client, I would say that the only person fitting for Mark is someone who wants to go all the way, like all the way, like no toe dipping, no let's try this out and see if this works. If that's the type of person that's meeting Mark, I would hope that they don't partner with him. So therefore, the person to partner with Mark is someone who's absolutely willing to surrender, who's absolutely willing to let go of control, who's absolutely willing to let go of the person that they think they need to be and the things that they need to do. And, you know, who has no choice but to expand themselves and their relationship with business life beyond what they can currently conceive of.